running another one of his experiments. TheOneBeyond set up 11 professions: mages, priests, knights, warriors, rangers, assassins, summoners, bards, warlocks, alchemists, and barbarians. Each profession has 7 tiers, set up with the highest being the god of that profession. Which species will survive the endless carnage brought about by the race to godhood? Here our fantasy world is. Let us place down the 4 major races and see which of the 4 gain a god first and survive. First off, we're going to start with the humans. We're going to place 5 down right here. On to the elves, we're going to place them down in this celestial area. Then on to the orcs, we're going to place them down in this crystal area. Finally, the dwarves, we're going to place them in the desert. Now that we have all 4 major races placed down, we're going to let the world run for 1,000 years, checking in every 250 years, with a time lapse in between showing off the time. We're going to start the time lapse now. Hope y'all enjoy, and we will see which race is left after the 250 years, if any of them are, and if any have a god. So, hope y'all enjoy. We're going to start. The first profession appeared in the God Sim was a human race squire with silver talent. This earned her a spot in the history of the divine domain, letting her step into the first step towards legend. The first second level profession was an orc named Epo, as a pastor, with a talent level of platinum, one of the rarer ones, granting them a spot in the world's history. The first third profession appeared in the humans once again, this time a veteran enchanter, granting her a spot in the world's history. She also had a platinum talent, which explained her speed. The first 4th level appeared in the Dwarf race, giving them their first world notification. This time the profession was an Archmage male, dwarf, giving the dwarves the capability to use magic for mass destruction. The race to godhood has started with the dwarves and humans. When major powers start wars, it only affects the citizens. The humans send their armies to invade the dwarves' kingdom, leading to a third of the dwarves' kingdom getting burnt down. The dwarves send an army in retaliation against the humans after what they did to their kingdom. The world's first legendary profession has appeared. This time, it is a legendary enchanter. The creature who reached it is a female orc named Eek.
Gaga.
All right. It has been 250 years. That's going to be the first, well, yeah, the first quarter done. There's been a whole bunch of stuff that went down during those 250 years. As you can see, there's a war going on. War between the dwarves and the humans, which the orcs joined in because the dwarves got into an alliance with the orcs. Meanwhile, the elves are just over here chilling all on their own, just growing up their lower population they had, now at the highest. Well, but the orcs have more, but like they're split between a whole bunch of kingdoms compared to everyone else. And also during those 250 years, we had our first legend get made. There's still a fair bit. They're just chilling over here. It was an orc that was a legend. There's still, yeah, we have like a whole bunch of perks for him, but there's still two more tiers above that. You have demigod and god, which they won't be able to get until they get to the high enough level, which is this is a demigod, I think, and then this is the god. So we'll see if they're gonna be able to reach that by the end of the 1,000 years, or if not. So I don't really have anything else to show off for this. I guess I can show off like all the different kingdoms and what they look like real quick. It's just more of the same, basically. Just it's really laggy because of how many people there are. It's 20,000. It's really late right now, so I'm kind of like slow mentally. I'm trying to probably think because I'm tired as fuck. But a whole bunch of war going on that kind of destroyed the human population, like civilization, kingdoms. Meanwhile, like I said, the elves are all peaceful. It's so hard to pull and do anything. They're just developing in their peaceful flower nation. Then you have, let's go check out the orcs, which will be the final thing I check out, and then we'll start back up the time lapse. Or we'll skip the next to year 500. I don't know just yet. We'll see. They are really condensed up here. Like, really condensed. That is insane. But anyway, we're gonna go through the next 250 years to year 500 and see what happens if we get a demigod, if we get a god, or if a kingdom falls. Or a species falls, not just a kingdom, because a few kingdoms have fallen by now. Anyway, let's start up the next 250 years. The dwarves have been hit by the forbidden spell Meteor. The use of this spell will end up forcing the entire world to join in the race to godhood. The humans' use of forbidden spells led to the orcs using them as well. Luckily, the orcs were still caught in a civil war. The world's first demigod appeared in the Orcs. Once again, the Orcs gained another one of the first. This Orc just happened to be named Eek as well. After 500 years of war, every race but the Elves have been almost wiped out. The Elves seem to have taken a neutral stance in the race to Godhood, trying to catch up to the other races' professions. The Orcs and Dwarves had both split due to the civil unrest, resulting in two different kingdoms. The race to godhood had reached its peak, with multiple demigods being a part of the war. Thankfully, peace would reign mostly from now on. After 550 years, one of the legends failed for the first time when they tried to become a demigod. The Orcs pushed the Elves from their ancestral lands and slaughtered more than half of their population. Thankfully, this marks the appearance of an alliance between most of the kingdoms, leading to a period of peace. After the world population had been lowered due to the non-stop wars, the last 250 years of peace led to a population boom. The world creature count has now broken 30k, the highest it has ever been. The entire world has been colonized, with the majority of it being held by the dwarves in the upper left-hand corner. Alright, so 1,000 years have passed, and surprisingly, each one of the races have survived. The elves, orcs, the dwarves, and humans. They've all had their ups and downs, but currently, they all seem to be pretty stable. The world population is 31k. Let's check if it's still the... Yep. They still have their main alliance, which is why no wars are going on. When they had the few wars break out, the main alliance wiped out the attackers. Because not every kingdom is in the alliance, but it includes most of the like strong people. So, yeah. There hasn't been wars for like probably 200 years. Currently, the highest stage is a demigod. If this would like to load. Yeah, the highest stage is a demigod. There's been a few people who have failed to condense becoming a demigod, but they still have managed a fair few to become a demigod. Like this one right here, I'm gonna fuck up their names. Ag, Purda, and Ini, and then Eek. These three, all of them are demigods and have been demigods for a good like 500-ish years now. So, yeah, they've... What? Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I was like, what? This is definitely not the right one. Okay, yeah, here's Eek. Yeah, the first one is. He is a demigod, or I don't know if it's a female. Yeah, it's a female. They are a demigod. They're not anywhere near becoming a god yet. They still have quite a while. Enak is a demigod too. I don't know how many demigods there are total, but there's definitely at least like 5. One for each race. A few of them have a fair few of them. Like the orcs, I know have a lot of them. He is nowhere near becoming a god either. Still needs at least another 43k to become a demigod. Same with Enak. All of them don't have that much, but all of them aren't going to become a god for quite a while. But everyone, the world's basically taken over. It's at peace. Eventually, they will become a god. I'm really surprised no one became a god in 1,000 years. But that is what happens when you leave a WorldBox world for 1,000 years, letting the fantasy mod, I forget exactly what the mod is called. I think it's like literally called Fantasy World mod, letting it develop and letting them all become the professions and letting them grow. Like I said, surprisingly, no one became a god. I know I'm repeating myself a whole bunch here. I just didn't really know what else to say, because surprisingly, no one became a god, and that was like what I wanted to mainly build off of at the end. No wars are going on, nothing's gonna happen, so yeah, I don't have to show anything off. It's about to be the next year, so I'm gonna stop showing this world, and the next WorldBox stuff you'll see will probably be the 4 infections versus each other, because I know there are 4 different infections in WorldBox itself. So yeah, peace out, and hope y'all enjoyed. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you and remind you to like, comment, and sub, as all 3 of those things will help me out a whole bunch. And if you have already done those 3 things and you still want to support me somehow, check out my Patreon and my YouTube membership. The link for the Patreon will be in the description of the video. They both give you access to different perks. Like my Patreon will, on the highest tier, will let you get access to my unedited videos, and you can also get sneak peeks of my future videos on YouTube. While the YouTube membership at the highest tier will give you access to my videos on early access, and you can also get a shout out for both the Patreon and YouTube at the end of each video. Thank you each and every one of my Patreon and YouTube memberships. Your names will be on the screen right now. Your support means a whole lot, and lets me continue making content with more effort and just in general.